Hello there. I've been playing around with the snapshots recently, and I came up with a way to make custom block healths inside of Minecraft. And this will work in 14W27B or later for the snapshots. So you can see above each of these we have a health bar with 10 hit points. If we were to break the block, the health bar is going to decrease, and they each work independently. And if we throw our snowball healing charges at them, they'll heal right back up to full health. So this is all working using this one set of command blocks here. There are two versions of the mechanism that I'm going to show you. Right now we're just going to look at this one on the right here, version 1 of the setup. This can work for anywhere on the map. So using the format that I'm going to show you, you can construct these anywhere and it won't require any extra command blocks. You can just turn this guy on and it'll work. So how exactly is it working? Well, we start off here with a basic fill clock, which is just going to replace this redstone line here with stone and back to redstone so that all these command blocks are constantly being triggered. Next up, we need to figure out whether the block is going to have its health increased or decreased, and this is done using two commands. First off, it's going to execute add a snowball and then try to execute a wither skull within a radius of 1, and then it's trying to place a block of black wool. So what this is doing is when there is a wither skull inside of this block here, that's what has this custom name tag. When a snowball comes within a radius of 1 of the wither skull, it's going to place a black wool block here, which is a signal that we want to increase the block health. Similarly, the command up here is trying to execute at this wither skull and set a block of air, detect a block of air here. When this block is broken, the air will be true, and so it's going to place a block of red wool here, which says we want to decrease it. Now, in order to get this working anywhere on the map, the health of the block actually needs to be physically stored somewhere, and that's what this block of wool here is doing. The data value on this wool determines what the health is up here. So right now, purple wool has a data value of 10, so that signifies that the block has 10 hit points. So once we figured out whether this block here is going to be black wool or red wool, then there's an array of command blocks here which are going to take roughly this form, and what they're going to do is two things, two detect commands. It's going to check to see whether it's red wool or black wool to know whether it's going to increase or decrease the health, and then it's going to check what the current health of the block is, checking that data value down below the block. And then it's going to summon in a new wither skull with the correct name tag for the new health, which is what this is down here, and this is using colors. You can get colored font in using MCEdit filters. And then there is a similar set of command blocks that rather than summoning in a wither skull is going to change this block. So if we had a red wool here, that would say we want to decrease it by 1, so it would change this wool block from a data value of 10 to a data value of 9. And that happens when we break the block. You can see that goes down, the new wither skull gets summoned in, the old wither skull gets killed off. There are a couple other things happening with the command blocks. You can download it and check it out to see how that's working. There are two options that I built into this option 1 setup here, depending on whether you want to destroy the block when it reaches 0 health or whether you want to keep the block when it reaches 0 health. So right now our keep block is true. So if we were to come over here and get this down, you can see we can keep breaking it, but it's not actually going to destroy it. We just heal it up a little bit over here. If we were to turn destroy block when health is equal to 0 to true and keep block to false, then when we get it down to 0 health, the block disappears. So this could be useful depending on how you wanted to use the mechanism, whether you wanted it to be kind of like a regenerative health system, or you just wanted it to, when you get it down to 0, it's gone, it's dead. So that's system 1, that's option 1. We'll just turn it off. Option 2 is for a slightly different application. Option 2 is if you want the health of the block to affect something. So as the health changes, something else in your world would change. So you can see, rather than storing the health as a data value in wool in this one, we store it as the location of where this sandstone block is. So when the sandstone block is on this top level here, that's saying the block has a health of 10. As the block health decreases, the sandstone moves down. So as we're 3 down here, now that's saying this is a block health of 7. And again, it works both ways. The same thing is happening with the snowballs and with the breaking blocks in terms of that's how it's determining whether it's increasing or decreasing the health. But this is kind of cool in that you can, as this sandstone block moves down, you can use command blocks here to change things in your world. So I have it set up that when the sandstone block gets placed, the redstone signal here comes through, it activates this command block, and that command block is changing the transfer cooldown on this hopper clock. And every time the item gets put in this hopper, it's going to spawn in a healing charge in this hopper up here, which feeds into our chest. But what this means is that if we enable this, we can see right now they're spawning at a pretty high rate, but if our block here gets damaged, you can see they're actually going to start spawning at a slower rate. And the more damage it takes, the slower the rate they're going to spawn. And that's just one thing that you can do with this. There are a lot of possibilities with this, I think. I'd love to see, oops, that one doesn't want to heal. There we go. Sometimes it's a little buggy in terms of where you have to hit it. I'd love to see what you guys can make using this. There's a download link to the map in the description below. Feel free to download it and use it in any of the projects that you're working on. I'd like to thank you all for watching, and I hope you enjoyed.